Good evening, I'm Summa, reporting for SUMMA News TV. Tonight, we bring you breaking coverage of a trade conflict that has now escalated into a full-blown economic crisis between the United States and Canada, a crisis that experts say could reshape the future of global trade. This all began on August 1, 2025, when President Donald Trump signed what he called the toughest trade order in American history. The order imposed a 10% baseline tariff on nearly all imports, with a punishing 35% tariff targeting Canadian goods, including cars, steel, aluminum, lumber, and even agriculture, products that had flowed duty-free for decades. On top of that, the administration threatened tariffs of up to 300% on semiconductors, the very lifeblood of modern technology. But instead of folding under U.S. pressure, Canada struck back in a way Washington never expected. Prime Minister Mark Carney encouraged Canadians to use their wallets as weapons. The result was a massive consumer boycott, with 71% of Canadians now actively refusing to buy American products. The impact has been swift and devastating. Walmart Canada cut U.S. food imports by 30% in just 1 month. Cross-border shopping collapsed by 32% by car and 20% by air. U.S. food retail bankruptcies exploded 240% year-over-year, wiping out grocery stores, restaurants, and exporters who once depended on Canadian customers. One supermarket CEO in Buffalo put it bluntly, "We used to survive on traffic from Ontario. Now it's just empty shelves and unpaid utility bills." And this is more than just lost sales. This boycott has struck at the very heart of America's strategic resources. Canada supplies 27% of America's uranium and is the only North American source of germanium, a metal critical for semiconductors, night vision optics, and even missile guidance systems. Without it, America's defense industry faces severe vulnerabilities. And energy dependence is just as alarming. Every day, 4.3 million barrels of Canadian oil flow south to the U.S., along with 11.4 terawatt-hours of Canadian electricity each year, enough to power 1 million American homes. Without Canada's supply, U.S. energy grids and industries would be at risk of blackouts and shortages. Meanwhile, the boycott is no longer confined to Canada. Globally, anti-American sentiment is spreading. A recent European Central Bank survey revealed that 44% of Europeans are actively avoiding U.S. brands. Tesla alone has seen a 28% collapse in European sales. Analysts warn that this is turning into an international contagion, with global consumers quietly turning their wallets against American products. China, meanwhile, is benefiting the most. While Trump picks fights with his closest ally, Beijing continues to tighten its grip on rare earth minerals, controlling over 90% of global refining capacity. Each cut in supply directly weakens U.S. aerospace and defense companies like Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon. Wall Street is now sounding the alarm. Morgan Stanley warns of severe liquidity risks for U.S. firms dependent on Canadian trade. J.P. Morgan projects 12,000 U.S. retail stores could close by year's end if the boycott continues. Experts say this conflict is not just about tariffs, it's about trust. For decades, Canada was America's most reliable ally, shipping 95% of its oil to the U.S. without question. But polls now show 91% of Canadians want to reduce that reliance, a stunning reversal that many are calling unprecedented. And perhaps most damaging of all was not the tariff itself, but President Trump's rhetoric. On stage, he joked about making Canada the 51st state of America. To Canadians, that was not tough talk. It was an insult to their sovereignty. And when trust between allies breaks, the fallout isn't just diplomatic, it's economic. So what happens next? Analysts say Trump is gambling on economic pain, hoping Canada will return to the negotiating table. But history suggests the opposite. Canadians appear willing to endure short-term hardship rather than surrender sovereignty. And every boycott, every new trade deal, and every diverted shipment suggests Prime Minister Carney's gamble is paying off. This crisis is no longer just about Canada and the United States. It's about the future of the global economy, and whether consumer power, not military might, will define the next era of international relations. For now, one thing is certain. The US-Canada relationship, once one of the strongest in the world, has entered its most dangerous chapter in modern history. And the fallout could reshape not only North America, but the global economy itself. Stay tuned to SUMMA News TV for continuing coverage of this unfolding story. I'm Summa, thank you for watching, and we'll be back with more updates as the situation develops.